No. So very, very, very confused. When you hear the word basketball, what do you think of? I don't know about you, but when I hear the word basketball, I think of 2009 when Ron Artest, also known as Meta World Peace since he changed his name, started a brawl in 2009 against Detroit Pistons, which scarred me for life because since that day I never wanted to go to a basketball game. But other than that, basketball is still really fun. But what I really think of basketball is being competitive and a way to build friendship. I mean, being friends with people that you didn't see yourself being friends with. Here is my senior basketball jersey from high school. When I used to play for Southgate, and my number was 15. This jersey has literally been through a lot. A lot of sweat and tears dripped down that jersey. There were some tough practices. One practice that I had was when the coach decided to put me, a point guard who only dribbles the ball, go in with two centers, which is the people that are under the basket to catch the ball. So he threw the ball up, and then we had to go get it, and I literally got smushed like a sandwich, and I just fell on the floor, and oh my god, it was just very horrible. This culture is more than just tall people shooting baskets. It's a way to relieve stress, to also bring that competitive side out of you, and to make friends with other people in your school. In the sport, there's a lot of competitive players who will try their best and won't stop at nothing to finish the game and to finish with all they have. And most of all, you create memories while playing the sport. First, I'll be talking to you about how competitive this sport can be. In the game, you're very competitive against your opponents because before the game even starts, there's a lot of tension because you know you have to beat them. And playing for your school, it holds a lot of responsibility because you're playing for your school and your team and for the crowd that's out there. Off the court, you continue practicing because you want to do better in your next game. An example of a competitive player is Carmelo Anthony. In an article from ESPN, young Ms.Chee wrote an article about how Carmelo was hurting. His right shoulder was hurting. And he kept playing because there was no way he wanted to get out because he wanted to finish the game. That shows how much of a great player Carmelo Anthony is because even though he was hurting, he still continued playing. And another example of how competitive it can be is when there's actually players that even play dirty because they're very competitive that they just want to finish already. An example would be when I played against my rival Southeast. They literally just pushed me and I rolled down the court. I burned my shoulder, right here, my cheek, and my knee. And I thought that I wasn't ever going to play the game again, but that just made me want to beat them even more in the next game. First, I talked to you about how competitive it is, and now I'm going to talk to you about how you can build friendship from it. Finding friends that have the same passion for you for the game that sounds corny, but one of the best feelings ever because they actually understand you. And in order to play well, you have to have good communication with your teammates. Is also what your coach tells you, because if you don't talk, then the game probably won't even, like, you'll just be turning over the ball. And once the season starts, you actually spend more time at school practicing with your team than you do at home. So you have to have a good friendship with your teammates. Basketball is more than a sport. It's a way to show the competitive side of you and to build friends from it, to get friends from it. And first, I already talked to you about how competitive you can be and the friends you can get. So it's worth experiencing. So even though we're not in high school anymore, you should join a club or anything to at least try it, because it's actually worth experiencing.